Chapter 16. What recognition is has been already explained. We will now enumerate its kinds. First, the least artistic form, which, from poverty of wit, is most commonly employed recognition by signs. Of these some are congenital, such as the spear which the earthborn race bear on their bodies, or the stars introduced by Carcinus in his Thyestes. Others are acquired after birth, and of these some are bodily marks, as scars, some external tokens, as necklaces, or the little arc in the tyro by which the discovery is effected. Even these admit of more or less skillful treatment. Thus in the recognition of Odysseus by his scar, the discovery is made in one way by the nurse, in another by the swineherds. The use of tokens for the express purpose of proof, and, indeed, any formal proof with or without tokens, is a less artistic mode of recognition. A better kind is that which comes about by a turn of incident, as in the bath scene in the Odyssey. Next come the recognitions invented at will by the poet, and on that account wanting in art. For example, Orestes in the Iphigenia reveals the fact that he is Orestes. She, indeed, makes herself known by the letter, but he, by speaking himself, and saying what the poet, not what the plot requires. This, therefore, is nearly allied to the fault above mentioned, for Orestes might as well have brought tokens with him. Another similar instance is the voice of the shuttle in the Tyrrhus of Sophocles. The third kind depends on memory when the sight of some object awakens a feeling, as in the Cyprians of Dicæogenes, where the hero breaks into tears on seeing the picture, or again in the Lay of Alcinous, where Odysseus, hearing the minstrel play the lyre, recalls the past and weeps, and hence the recognition. The fourth kind is by process of reasoning. Thus in the Coephory, someone resembling me has come, no one resembles me but Orestes, therefore Orestes has come. Such too is the discovery made by Iphigenia in the play of Polyidus the Sophist. It was a natural reflection for Orestes to make, so I too must die at the altar like my sister. So, again, in the Titius of Theodectes, the father says, I came to find my son, and I lose my own life. So too in the Phainaidae, the women, on seeing the place, inferred their fate. Here we are doomed to die, for here we were cast forth. Again, there is a composite kind of recognition involving false inference on the part of one of the characters, as in the Odysseus disguised as a messenger. A said, that no one else was able to bend the bow, hence B, the disguised Odysseus, imagine that A would recognize the bow which, in fact, he had not seen. And to bring about a recognition by this means that the expectation A would recognize the bow is false inference. But, of all recognitions, the best is that which arises from the incidents themselves, where the startling discovery is made by natural means. Such is that in the Oedipus of Sophocles and in the Iphigenia, for it was natural that Iphigenia should wish to dispatch a letter. These recognitions alone dispense with the artificial aid of tokens or amulets. Next come the recognitions by process of reasoning.
Summary and reflection of Chapter 16.
In the 16th section of the Poetics, Aristotle delves into the various forms of recognition, emphasizing the artistic merit of each. Recognition, as previously explained, is the moment when characters come to know the true identity of others. Aristotle enumerates several kinds, starting with the least artistic, a recognition by signs. These signs can be congenital or acquired after birth, serving as proof in the narrative. Aristotle acknowledges the varying degrees of skill in employing these signs, with some being more or less artistically executed. He then critiques a less artistic mode of recognition, formal proof with or without tokens. The more sophisticated forms involve turns of incidents, with recognition occurring naturally within the plot. Aristotle distinguishes between recognitions invented at will by the poet, lacking artistry, and those arising naturally from the incidents themselves. The best recognitions, in his view, are those that unfold organically, dispelling the need for artificial aids.
Practical exercises.
Writers. Craft a short story that relies on recognition by signs, exploring the various ways characters come to know each other. Write a dialogue-based scene where characters use reasoning to recognize each other, focusing on the natural flow of the plot. Composers. Compose a musical piece that accompanies a recognition scene, capturing the emotional nuances of the characters' realizations. Develop a musical composition inspired by recognition through reasoning, using different musical elements to mirror the character's thought processes. Dancers. Choreograph a dance routine that interprets a recognition scene, focusing on conveying the character's emotions through movement. Create a dance performance that explores the theme of recognition by signs, experimenting with symbolic gestures to convey the character's discoveries. Actors. Engage in improvisational exercises centered on recognition scenes, exploring the emotional depth and authenticity of character realizations. Perform a monologue or scene where characters use reasoning to recognize each other, emphasizing the natural development of the plot. By engaging in these exercises, writers, composers, dancers, and actors can deepen their understanding of Aristotle's insights on recognition and infuse their works with more authentic and artistically satisfying portrayals of character discovery.